Welcome. I'm David Tasker. PainChek has released its June quarterly report highlighting continued recurring revenue growth, increasing customer activity, and the commencement of its commercial rollout in the United States. Joining me is PainChek Non-Executive Chair Lil Bianchi. Lil, thanks for
Hi,
your time.
David.
Lil, you joined PainChek as chair during the quarter. What attracted you to the company, and what do you see as its most significant opportunity?
Oh, the need for the product. So PainChek has a product which helps assess, understand, and monitor pain, particularly for people who have an inability to verbalize. So that goes from aged care, it goes from Alzheimer's, it goes from critical points where it might be more difficult to articulate, but also it goes into other care groups and infants as well. So the need for pain management is huge. It's very, very significant for the people involved and for their loved ones. It's a distressing situation to see people in pain, but also it's vital for the organisations who are working with those patients. So nursing staff, drug companies, administration of drugs, healthcare, hospitals, nursing environments. There's an acute shortage of skilled workers, and automation of key elements like pain management is very important, both to the standard of care, the quality of care, and the economics of this sector.
Now, in addition to your appointment, the company also made a number of additional changes during the quarter, both in terms of personnel and enhancing the performance model. Can you expand on those changes and what they mean for the future?
Absolutely. We are making a big shift in our focus to revenue, revenue, revenue. So we're wanting to rebuild the company around that. We're wanting to build the company around winning new customers, about timely implementation of the product, and customer success and retention. So we've got a very, very clear view of where we want to go. And we've brought in a new CEO, Karen, who'll join us on the 17th, who's got a terrific track record. She's been over 25 years in healthcare and med tech. She built up her key execution and commercial skills in GE, innovation and building a market through nuance, and then startup resilience and laser focus on growth recently. So she's exactly the sort of person who understands the US market, who understands growth, that we need for our future. But we haven't just been sitting waiting for Karen. We've also been doing a lot of work with the team. And I'm really pleased to let you know, David, that we've got some great talent already in PainChek. And it's been, unleashing them, letting them get on with their job. So with salespeople to have a big focus on revenue, to win the sale, but also generate the revenue really quickly from that sale. And on the operational side, to build an execution machine that delivers on our promises. And we're already doing that. So it's really, get the right team, get the right people, aligned on the right priorities, and be a good steward of the resources and the assets that are our shareholders.
Now, just touching on growth, you did touch on it. The quarter saw growth across ARR, customer
Mm.
receipts, and retention.
Yeah.
How did you and the team view those growth numbers?
We're delighted that we have the right trajectory. We really are. So it's a good basis for the new team to build from, but we need more pace. So what I've been talking there about, the changes we're making are all about creating that pace. That will go on. So we're taking a sharp eye on our pipeline, on what's important for us, what's going to deliver revenue as quickly as possible, and to be, a bit more lean and mean in the way that we run the company.
Now, just drilling into one agreement in particular, PainChek has now secured its first two
Mm.
commercial deployments under the Sabra agreement in the US. Why is this an important milestone, and how could the owner-funded model help accelerate adoption across Sabra's network of up to 20,000 beds?
Well, it's all about that pace issue, David. So, it's great to get in and get an agreement with a large network. It gives you a good set of facilities to go for. But sometimes, you have a master service agreement, but then you have to do individual sale by sale by sale. And it becomes a little bit like a small customer model. With Sabra and this group direct contract, it means that our conversations are not about the cost of the license. They're about how can we implement as quickly as possible, why this would be great for you, and how to work with you to really make a great success of it. So it makes it faster. It makes it more achievable, and also it means that people having those conversations are, getting quickly into the depth of patient care, operational efficiency, where we've just got fantastic stories to tell.
Now, this is one particular type of path to market that PainChek employs. What other paths to market exist, and how do you propose to tackle each of them?
It's almost infinite, really. And in our pipeline, we are very much focused, as you say, at the moment, on these more direct commercial contracts because they're quick. But we are keeping our eye on the other models. So whether that's hospital, whether that's home care, whether it's GP, whether it's other clinical professionals, we are talking to them, we are working with them, we have prospects with them. Um, and that is a bit of a different model. So that will require more focus from us on CMS, on reimbursement. All these different routes to market have different requirements from reimbursement. So we're talking to them, we're aligning reimbursement models with their needs and their structures. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes about different paths, about different funding models, and we will continue to work on those. But we are pretty laser focused on getting the most licenses as fast as we possible because that's the route, the route to increase revenue.
One model that I did want to touch on is the partnership accelerator
Mm.
model, which is a term I've heard you use previously. What does this mean in practical terms? Who are they, and how do they drive commercial outcomes for PainChek products?
It's absolutely the kind of thing I've just been talking about, David, that it's a hard road if you are, individual group or individual user, one by one. It takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of time. So partnerships are a way of being able to capture a larger market, to be able to use partners to do some of the hard legs around selling for us and with us. And also, they are trusted advisors who talk to patients themselves on a regular basis. So there's a couple of good examples we've got at the moment. One is in the infant space. We have signed up with a group of pharmacies, and this will very much be a partnership approach. We're looking at the point in a parent's first few months when they're starting to go to pharmacies for infant vaccinations. That can be a high stress point for parents. It can, unfortunately, in some cases, lead to pain. And PainChek Infant can work through pharmacies to be, support to the parents and also provide good data analysis to the pharmacies so they can continue to serve, that baby and those parents. And that gets you a much wider reach. It's a clear focal point. We're not trying to be everything to everyone. Another example that we are in the process of, which we're really, delighted about, is that we are partway through the process of Mayo Clinic qualification. Now, Mayo Clinic is a trusted global health provider around the world. It's one of the big global names in healthcare, and they have a platform for medtech that allows companies like us and products like us to become visible and to become accessible to a wide range of healthcare providers, not just in the US, but obviously primarily, but also around the world. So that's in process, and we look forward to giving people updates as that moves along.
With a strengthened cash position, Karen commencing as CEO shortly, and the company increasingly focused on commercial execution, what should investors watch for over the coming quarters?
A lot. There's going to be a lot of change. We will be putting announcements out about agreements that we're signing. We've got some really exciting paid pilots on the way, which will, again, give an avenue to more licenses. So we'll be giving a lot more information about our revenue, about our pipeline and how we're moving through that. And also, the new team and the new approach and the way that we are addressing just getting more, performance from the business, accelerating results. So it's an exciting time for PainChek, and there is going to be a lot to talk about, David.
A busy quarter,
Mm.
growth achieved, but a clear focus on ramping that up and focused on revenue and smart revenue coming into the business. Congratulations on the progress during the quarter, and we look forward to following PainChek's next phase of commercial growth. Lil, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, David.